Survivors, seekers, and thrivers, welcome to Transcending Trauma, a spiritual odyssey. I'm Shari Lee Roberts, living proof that transformation is real. Get ready for powerful insights, inspiring stories, and a little laughter along the way.
Hello and welcome back. Today I have best-selling author Cheryl Stelte, who is also an intuitive energy healer, speaker, and so many other things that are true to me and to you as the listener. Welcome, Cheryl.
Oh, Sherry Lee, I'm just so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
This is going to be an awesome conversation. So, before we began recording, I asked Cheryl if she was good with whatever Spirit wanted us to talk about. She said yes, and right now, neither of us are sure what that will be. So, how about you start out sharing where you are today, and then we'll go back.
Where am I today?
Yes.
Well, physically I'm in human form as Cheryl
Yeah.
Stelte, and I'm in Colorado, and I'm feeling very excited about the transition I'm going through because it's quite significant, and it's like so much of the past. It's not like the past is being released, but its hold on me is being released. Its hold on me to a new level, and I'm opening up to a new way of being that I believe in the past I've mostly been able to experience in meditation or on a 1-week retreat or something, that I could live in that way, but in my daily life. And so I'm experiencing a higher level consciousness, a higher vibration, heightened joy no matter what's going on. And I mean, I'm having some big challenges in my life. And so it's so wonderful to be in this place of still experiencing joy and spirit moving through me so much more consciously in my daily life.
Tell us that is awesome. It is an excellent place to be. Do you mind sharing what your current challenges are and how you can be in that beautiful place of acceptance and just going on.
Yes, and this is something I have never shared online because I believe in, um, speaking from the scar rather than the pain.
Yeah.
And as I say that, I say, well, the scar has formed beautifully already, even though this situation has not completed. And so I'm at the tail end of a divorce, and
Oh, wow.
I have a final court hearing. I have the final court hearing in exactly 2 weeks today.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's
Okay.
my
I,
lawyer is contacting me, and he admitted in the marriage. I asked him, and you know all about narcissism,
wow.
right? About it firsthand. And I asked him if he was a narcissist, and he said, no, not narcissist, narcissistic tendencies. And so
Mhm.
that I think explains a lot. And I still see that we were soulmates and we were meant to come together, and that our agreement completed itself. So
Mhm.
I learned everything I needed to learn through that marriage. And it's just been 6 years. It's not like 30 or 40 years. I learned everything, which is really worth celebrating. And as I continue through the the challenges, constant surprises, that sort of thing, I see the divine in all God. We're all an aspect of the creator. And I just see him. This is all your learning. You can have learning. I'm having my learning, and we're all divine beings. And, and even this morning I had new emails from my lawyer. I was, conversing with the paralegal last night, uh,
Uh,
later. But it's I'm managing to stay in that space. And I could see us all. I can, here he is and his lawyer and my lawyer and our paralegals and all of us, we're acting out, we're learning. It's all divine. It's all divine. And we're acting out. It's like a play almost.
yeah.
And that when we leave our human forms, we're all going to be in a different place, and there's going to be nothing but love.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, wow, didn't we do a great job or not, or whatever it is? And so it makes everything so much lighter. It's so much lighter. And it's the joy that I experience of having this peace and optimism and joy through this.
Yes. Okay. So I get that and wish when I went through my divorce that I was as enlightened as you were, and I am now. Tell my listeners what you went through that led you to this awakening, enlightenment.
Uh, well, it's all spiritual practices, and I meditate every day and have been for almost 32 years. But what it was, I look back in the marriage, and it was in a few years ago, I started to become very successful. And I went through a period of time where I was making a tremendous amount of money. And that's when the marriage shifted. It's not like everything was perfect before that, but
Yeah.
we were extremely happy for the most part, and we would come across some challenges, and there was a lot to celebrate. But then when I suddenly started becoming more successful in my business, that's when there were the shifts. And
Yeah.
so I resorted back to old behaviors of trying to fix,
Yeah.
trying to
Yes.
problem, trying to fix him, explaining, and I, offered a lot of healings to him, etc. And so trying to fix it instead of
Mm.
seeing, oh no, this is who he really is.
Yeah.
This is him as human.
Yeah.
And I mean, this man had been he'd been meditating, well over 40 years, almost 45 years.
Wow.
Um, it's like, what are you doing in your meditations?
Yeah.
That you're behaving in this way. And so he stopped listening to me, started interrupting me constantly, just all sorts of little like that. And so I finally, uh, it took me way too long, or the perfect amount of time. I had to see it all. I really could see it all. I had to go through that
Yeah.
to see that no, no, and so I kept looking at myself, because I believe we all grow through opportunity, right? It's through challenges. All our challenges are opportunities. So I kept treating the situations like that, and looking at myself and continuing my own healing journey. And
God.
eventually it was just one last incident, and I went, no, no, this has gone too far. This is enough. I'm done. And that was it.
There is a way that pivotal moment to outsiders. It often looks erroneous or benign, but to us, it is it is a defining moment. Please tell us what that moment was.
Well, there were so many, there were things building up. And as you're
Yeah.
speaking, I think it like a balloon. It was like
Mhm.
this
Yep.
balloon was being blown up with hot air, all the things that were not working, that I
Yeah.
was not in alignment with. So this balloon kept getting bigger and bigger. And
Wow.
then the final incident was like the pin popped the balloon, or it grew too big and it burst. Have you ever blown up a
Yep.
balloon, and you blow up too big and it pops?
Yeah.
Sort of like that. And so we were having a little gathering with our neighbors, and the one neighbor was on a first date with this woman, and he ended up, I got introduced to her, and so he came out of the house. We're bringing things outside, and we're all participating in this. And I introduced him to her, and he said, "Oh, hello." And he stood there and obviously looked her up and down in front of me. And
Wow.
she looked over at me. She looked over at me and looked back at him. And he'd never done anything like this before. Never.
Mhm.
And I was shocked.
Yeah.
And then during the evening, it was like he became this joyous man who he was not, and was just laughing and talking with her to the point that our neighbor grabbed her hand and pulled her closer to him and started holding her hand. This was their
Yeah.
first date. He
Yeah.
was feeling intimidated, and I was just sort of in shock. And I thought,
Mm.
that's it. I'm just
Done. Done.
done.
Well, they aren't perfectly describes the narcissist when they are going after their new deity or prey. They become this best version of who they think they need to be. And it's proof. Don't you think that they are capable of being amazing, yet they only are when it benefits them.
Yes, yes. And I didn't realize, prior to marrying him, I knew so little about narcissism.
Yeah,
And I thought it was more that he was on the spectrum, a bit on the spectrum. I thought it was that. And so I faced a point before we got married. Do I want to be with someone who's slightly on the spectrum? He had trouble with understanding other people's emotions and his own
yeah,
emotions and stuff like that. And I did a lot of healing on him and taught him how to heal himself. And so I had a lot of hope, and I thought, wow, he's really come along. But then I wonder if he was sort of, you know, how much of it, the progress was real and how
yeah,
much was disguised. And it just brings me back to the sense of self, and through his healing, he discovered some things in his early childhood that he had no recollection of earlier,
mm,
whether they happened or not. But
yeah,
that people, and I think it's really, I have this belief. I do a lot of chakra readings on people. So I see all the chakras as light, and I can tell by the crown chakra an old soul from a young soul.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
souls, I believe, I don't get many young souls in front of me, rarely ever
mm,
anymore.
mm,
They don't sign up for the tragedies, for the biggest trauma. It's the old souls that sign up, I believe, for the biggest challenges. So there's a
wow,
part of, yeah, there's a
yeah,
part of me,
interesting. Yeah,
yes, that I believe the soul chooses what our learning is in this lifetime.
yeah,
And so part of me asks, why would his soul choose this? And his soul is that old. Whether we do the learning or not is up to us.
yeah,
Where human self is very, very involved. And so that's why I come back to it's, you know, we may have one or more soulmates, I don't know, but that we had some kind of contract together to have this learning together, which I feel like I've benefited so much from,
Yeah.
and have not regret the timing, none of it. I went through what I had to go through.
Yeah.
Um, I learned so much. I'm a different person now than I was when I got married. And each year, I believe in personal growth, spiritual
Yeah.
growth. And
Yeah.
so here I am with this chapter completing itself, and it's exciting. And I don't know how things are going to unfold because, of course, someone else is holding back information and all kinds of crazy things. But it doesn't really matter because when I'm on my deathbed, it's not about the material things and about who gets the camper van or what. It's about the celebration of being in this lifetime and learning and growing through it. So
Oh,
it takes the heavy weight off of it.
yeah, it does. Definitely. Oh, so beautifully articulated. Take us now back to before you met him, or even back to your childhood, because now, understanding I was a victim of a narcissistic family, and then married one, had friends that were, is all I knew. Is that true for you?
Yes, it's such a good question. And probably like you, when I was growing up, there was no word narcissist.
No,
It
right.
wasn't, nobody was thinking of that. Neither was spiritual or meditation,
Yeah,
you know. Uh, but
yeah,
you know, I see, I look at my childhood and back in those days, and I don't think our family was a whole lot different, except that it was quite extreme in no emotional support from the parents,
right.
like zero,
Yeah,
because it wasn't a thing. And they likely did not get the emotional support. But it
right.
really still kind of surprises me because my mother's parents were so sweet and loving and understanding. And
Mm,
especially that grandmother could be because she could be very emotionally supportive. But anyway, it was very much the classic, the man is the king of the castle. So he
mhm.
always came first, everything. And I think, people my age, I'm into my 60s. I'm going to have another birthday next month. And it's the conditioning is just so ingrained. The
Yeah,
man comes first,
yeah,
you know, his castle, and the wife comes second, and then it's the children. And I was so afraid of my dad. I
yeah,
had a lot of moments of feeling close, but I remember so well once my mom saying, "Now kiss your dad goodnight." And I just didn't want to. Why
yeah,
should I kiss him goodnight? I'm afraid of him, you
yeah,
know? But
yeah,
he was German, and to him, discipline and, being a strict parent was, to him, that was love,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, and it was just the real lack of emotional connection. So we are a family of 7,
Wow.
and when you're in something, you're growing up in something, you think it's normal. So I grew up in what we thought,
Yes.
and normal to stuff my feelings, very, very challenging. And so my healing journey really began after my first marriage. And he was narcissistic and also an alcoholic, and we were both so young when we got married. But in that marriage, I started to see how it was affecting the kids. And it's often we leave for our children, not for ourselves. So, but
Yeah.
then my healing journey began when my deceased brother's spirit came to me on the beach one day. And
Oh,
I never felt so much love. And a friend of mine,
tell. Okay. What be and what was your age?
well, it was on the beach on Vancouver Island,
Wow.
north of Victoria. And my friend and I were going to go and pick oysters, and the tide was too high. So while we were waiting for the tide to go out, she asked me if she could practice kinesiology on me and this sort of spiritual clearing.
Yeah.
So I'm laying in the sand on the beach, and she's doing this finger testing with her fingers, this muscle testing. And she would say, oh, it's your aunt, oh, it's your friend, oh, it's your grandfather, whatever. And then she would clear whatever the wounding was. But I'm just laying there doing nothing. And all of a sudden, it was like this bright white light, this ball of white light, huge, was hovering above me with so much love. And I just started crying.
Yeah.
I never felt so much. It was overwhelming love.
Yeah.
I knew it was my deceased brother, Brian, who had taken his life about a year and a half before at the age of 30. And so she's continuing on, and she's talking so fast. I didn't have a chance to interrupt her, and I'm waiting, to try and say something.
Yeah.
And then she says, oh, it's your brother. And then she said, he's here. I said, I know. So she felt his presence, and
Yeah.
so very validating. And I hadn't said
Yeah.
a word.
Yeah.
And she ended up channeling him, and his message to me was to start meditating. It was really to get onto a spiritual journey. And I did, and my life just absolutely changed. And so of course I can connect with him now, and I could after that, and there'd be periods I would go through where I wouldn't be connected with him, and then periods where I would be very well connected with his spirit. So that changed everything for me. And I started healing myself, and all these old emotions that were repressed and memories and traumas from my childhood started coming up, and the memories are always fragmented. So I never had all the information, and you don't need it. But it was because I learned to go deep into the subconscious with the full breath. My body really wanted to do that. I had no idea I would be teaching it and developing my own healing modality.
Yeah. No. It was just unbelievable that we were there, not knowing we were victims, and that things were not quite what we thought. Then to meditate, and like you, it saved my life. It did before I couldn't quiet the noise. I couldn't calm down. I couldn't just be. And as you know, those are key to healing and finding peace within. Uh, Beautiful. Okay, how long ago did that big incident happen?
That was 32 years ago.
Wow.
30
And
years ago.
wow. And you're still talking with him now and again, even though he is moved on and is doing other important work. Um, do you have children?
Do I have what?
Children.
Do I have children? Yes, I have. I have and one grandchild.
Oh, nice. What has your healing journey done for your kids and therefore your grandchild?
Well, I have seen, especially for my son, how easily, I mean, he is just so happy in his life, an adoptive son, and he and his partner have really found themselves and what brings them joy.
Yeah.
They're performers. So he works as he's a journeyman welder,
Oh,
and he keeps getting all these other tickets, and he loves it. He loves his, but he started when he was a kid. He took my sewing machine and started making costumes, and so
wow.
he's costumes.
Yeah.
And he just turned 41 and he sells some of them, but they make costumes and they're performers. And he's a fire performer. So he performs,
Oh,
which,
wow.
which I keep saying to him, the next time I'm in Edmonton, we have to do a fire performance together, because someone taught me how to eat fire. Just
No,
so
no.
much fun. And you
Oh,
put the fire in your mouth. It's
yeah.
it's it's really wild. So anyway, that's kind of
Okay.
the why. But he just bought, anyway, they have just been recently in the last month, well, no, a few months ago, accepted into this group of performers. And they have met all these new people that are so like them, these souls that are here to,
Ah,
and
yeah,
it's just, it's so nice to see.
yeah.
And my daughter, she is in a place, she's challenged right now, struggling through dealing with her emotions. The one thing about my son, that man can talk. He can feel into his emotions, he can express them. He's extremely authentic.
Yeah,
Both my kids can be extremely authentic, which
yeah,
makes me so happy. But the
yeah.
work we do ourselves is much, of course, not forcing it on them, but trying it's not about teaching them anything. It's
No.
simply about being in our vibration,
Yep.
or being in whatever vibration we're in our higher
Yes.
level, helps
Yes.
everybody around us.
Yep.
And we don't know, we can't, like, we go, oh, intentionally project our vibration onto someone. No, it's very passive. It happens. And so what happens is that light, I'll just say, because I believe the light always shines on the darkness. So
Yeah.
you get to, and I've taught a lot of classes. I do, I work very spiritually with people. And so what happens is our light shines on our own darkness, but our light shines on other people's darkness when they're ready to face it.
Yeah.
When they're ready to face it. And so
Yep.
that's where my daughter is right now. She's facing her, and she's doing a great job of it, but it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for her. And
It is, and it is uncomfortable for us is a parent. I loved that you acknowledged that we cannot force or even teach or to a large extent share what we've learned, but all we can do is be there for them, love them, and maybe when asked, share what we know, but never, never give the advice or direction. That is so difficult. I've been there and I did it the wrong way for years, almost alienating my youngest daughter and probably my oldest daughter too. So I think what you just said, and I know, is something that every parent, particularly moms, need to know. I thank you for sharing that. What?
can I just add to that? I just,
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
I just
no.
want to say I have a little tip around that, because yes, I tried to help them when they were adults, and some things I think helped, but also tried to let them have but what really helps is letting their soul have their journey, soul have their
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
Yes, we're connected, and we definitely have soul contracts with them, but to just remember that she's learning through this. He's learning through that. And of course, it's different when they ask for help,
Yeah.
or you offer, my son, it's like every few years he'll go through something, sharing with me, and it's so hard to hear him struggling with the thing. And then I'll say, well, I'm available if you ever want a healing session.
Yeah.
And he always says, Mom, let me think about it. And then I usually hear from him the next day or within a week.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea because I remember how much for. And I mean, he might go 5 years, 10 years, whatever, but it's kind of like that. If you just want a little bit of that sort of help. And then as a healer, so many people say, well, it's really hard to heal family. And it's really hard to heal your kids or help when their issue is around you.
Yep.
Issue is around me. And I have done it. And I have been able to hold them both in that and be understanding and loving and kind because I can forgive myself. We all make mistakes and I'm a human too. Hold them in their truth and say to them, you're so right, you didn't deserve it. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. It just relaxes them. It just helps so much to speak the truth.
It is bottom line validating them and their feelings. Oh my God, you hit on something that has been transformational in my girl's healing journey. But we need to heal and let go of ego. So when our kids do say, when you did or said this, I was hurt, or you changed my life at that moment. The ego has to be gone in order to, like you said, validate them. Like, I got it. I see you. I feel it. I am sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I never wanted to hurt you, belittle you. I got it. And I am sorry. You can, at that moment, like you said, see the energy, both your own and theirs, just like elevated in consciousness, and it's unbelievable, incredible. So well said. Thank you. Anything else that you would like to impart on people in their healing journey, whether they're starting, but I almost feel like you need to address the people who are in their journey, who are stuck and just can't quite get to where we are.
What I would like to say for everyone, whether you're in the beginning of your journey or whether you're super evolved, or especially if you're stuck, because those are the I work with. Being stuck is a sacred thing.
Yeah.
Being stuck is an opportunity to move through what's getting of your clarity, of your inner clarity.
Yeah.
And so if you can honor it and keep going inside, so you look for what's getting in the way, you look for those wounds that want to be healed, which are all repressed emotions, which, you know, it's our subconscious beliefs that were formed from those repressed emotions. And to, when you're stuck, don't set goals, because when you set a goal, you set up yourself for an action, and it might not be the right goal because you're not in alignment with your true self.
Yeah.
So when you're stuck, you just see that you're in transition and you keep going inward, keep going inward. And when you do that and you heal yourself, you release, you lift the weights. It's sort of like, you know, the beautiful lamp with the clear, you know, translucent shade has this big heavy blanket on it. You remove the blanket so your light can shine, and then you can see clearly. Then you can see the truth, and then you set your goals. Do it from a place of clarity. So that's what, when you're stuck, you're lacking clarity. And that's how you move forward, is stay where you are, keep working it, get some help. We all need help along the way, so that you can gain that clarity and discover who you truly are. And what I always say, you are all powerful beyond what you can currently imagine.
Beautiful. And I would like to also just touch on again your comment about get help. It is when we are stuck, we cannot see anything. It is annoying for frustrating, and a lot of people give up. Seek help from people like Cheryl or I, who can tell you what your block is, remove it, and help you move forward. It doesn't have to be annoying or painful. It doesn't. So, excellent. Anything else, dear lady?
I'm just so grateful to have this time with you, and I'm appreciative, so grateful. I love the connections, and it just reminds me again how grateful I am to be right now, knowing where, you know, humanity was back in the 60s, 70s, all the life. Here we are. It's an exciting time.
Yes.
And going at a rapid rate. And thank you to all the listeners for listening in, because you're right in there too. You're all, and you're intentionally evolving. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Transcending Trauma, the Spiritual Odyssey. If you're working to overcome trauma and would like to work with me or be a guest on my show, contact me through my website at shariroberts.org. Please hit the follow button to make sure you don't miss any episodes. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn at Shari Roberts. You can find all the links in the show notes. I'd love to hear from you. I'm Shari Roberts, your host, reminding you that you're never alone. Until next time, sending you love and light.